Welcome back to fighting other people's battles in order to make myself feel socially relevant enough. In this episode, Lawrence McKenna is getting both barrels from Twitter. It's not like Twitter to attack people in hordes, is it? You know, it's usually such a positive platform for change. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Polaroid Podcast, episode number 29. Now, in the past week, a charity football match named Clash of the Creators happened. Some would say thrived. Clash of Creators, which does sound like a boxing event, more than actual boxing events. It was to raise money for a charity named Mind, which I'll put links in the description to avoid criticism and make myself feel more morally justified. An overall brilliant thing to bring larger and smaller creators together in order to benefit a mental health charity. Thank goodness we are keeping an eye on one another's mental health. In completely unrelated news, everyone hates Lawrence McKenna. What a fucking smarmy twat. Lawrence McKenna, most stuck-up cunt in the world. McKenna is an absolute dickhead. Very aggressive. In all seriousness though, this comes from Lawrence and Brian deciding midstream, on a whim, to react to Clash of Creators. Then a couple days later, Jack Mate speaks about it on his podcast and completely disagrees with how Lawrence was talking about the event. I happen to disagree with everyone on this subject, so let me premise my argument with two things. I am not here to change your opinion on Lawrence McKenna. That is nobody's job, including mine. Second of all, this comes from a 4-hour reaction-based Twitch live stream, okay? But let's react to Jack Mate's video and see what we think.
Lawrence was very bitey in the response. I'll be honest, right? I consider Lawrence a mate. We both have this kind of like relationship where we make comments about each other, but it's all in jest, and we have very similar personalities. You'll probably hate me saying that, but he is. I've got to say, I thought he come across as a bit of a prick in it, mate, to be honest.
Right, okay. Well, Lawrence McKenna is a prick all of the time, right? It's his thing. He's self-aware about it. And if you've ever watched him in any other context than like a True News or a debate on the kickoff, he doesn't come across like that at all, really. He's fairly civil, right? And I'm sure he doesn't come across like that on his daily life. This is entertainment. Right, in my opinion, this is entertainment so far.
I know it's your event, and I don't expect you to give your opinions on it, but again, it's a charity event that a fucking 16-year-old dreamt up, and then you dedicated it in memory to your fucking dad that passed away. You don't need to make shitty comments. I kept making jokes about the production value.
They really nailed the sound early on there. And in the gallery, get to the graphic. No.
It looks like they're trying to fix the grade as the stream is going.
It probably is.
I think they are.
Right, this is probably where I disagree with the majority of people, which is okay, because it's an opinion. I'm sat in my bedroom at 4 o'clock in the afternoon with a fairly small audience talking to a camera. A small audience on YouTube. I haven't just got a group of people stood in front of me. That'd be awkward. But being a charity event does not relinquish you from any sort of criticism whatsoever. You know, just because this is a charity event doesn't mean we all need to get on our high horses, right? And step on eggshells and go, look, you know, we're the good guys in this situation because we're supporting charity. And you can't say anything critical about this whole thing because you weren't there on the day. You weren't there playing football and supporting charity. Brian and Lawrence are open advocates for increasing the production value on YouTube videos and live streams because then we're viewed in the same light as the mainstream. Therefore, we get more money from brands and just in general, we're more respected in this sort of weird world that we live in. Like, they have a right to critique production value, whether they're joking or not. And they were joking. So even then, it doesn't matter.
They were laughing about the colour correction being changed midstream. Who cares? Who cares, mate? Who gives a shit, right?
They do. That's the point. They do, right? And I don't want to sound like I'm sucking them off, right? But this whole thing's been blown out of proportion. So I'm going to have to defend someone at some point, right? They, like I said, try their hardest to up production value. So when they see something that very easy changes can be made, like colour grade, of course they're going to go, for fuck's sake. Sort out the colour grade, couldn't they? Could have sorted out the colour grade. Of course they're going to say that.
Lawrence making off-the-cuff shitty comments about it doesn't matter, Lawrence. It doesn't, because it's brought everyone there. It's like going to a karaoke bar, right, and going, well, they don't sound like Adele. That's not what it's about.
Didn't quite understand that analogy, because as far as I'm aware, karaoke singers don't represent the entirety of the music world. But if you're on an internet live stream full of basically every creator this side of the Atlantic, guess what? You do represent the community. So just do the colour grade a bit better. It's not that deep. Just do the colour grade a bit better.
Laurence made a comment numerous times saying, who? When somebody came on.
Barker in the midfield. Whoever the fuck Jay Campbell is. Night Scar?
Yeah, it's all
Wait,
right.
who the fuck are you?
Happy with your performance?
Is that more?
I guess so.
An Ollie Ball crossbar challenge.
Oh, yes.
I always think to myself, what do I want to see? I want to see a guy I barely know kicking a ball at a crossbar.
Right, it's very easy to pick out very small clips from a 4-hour live stream and make him look bad, obviously. But I can understand, I get it, why some people might be pissed at this. I get it. Especially if you don't watch much of their content or you're just not that way humoured, I guess. But they are jokes on a 4-hour live stream where you're going to have to fill some silences to entertain the 4,000 people watching. Like, and Lawrence McKenna is the king of just saying shit when shit don't need to be said, because he's just riffing. He's just saying stuff because eventually he'll land on something funny. He'll land on something witty. He's just riffing out loud. We all do it. I do it when I'm planning out this podcast, but I have the benefit of not saying it in front of thousands of people. Therefore, those thousands of people don't get the opportunity to go, oh, whoa, you can't say that. That's not allowed. When you were just trying to find that one thing that's funny, you know? And if you're like, well, then, you know, they're not even jokes, right? Well, if they're not a joke to you, why do they have to be digs? You know, is there not a middle where it's just a light-hearted comment, a light-hearted nothing, right?
He made a comment that really fucked me off, actually. It really did fuck me off, because Rocket comes on screen, who used to be on Soccer AM, right? And I met him for the first time the other day. And he said, there's that guy who used to be on Soccer AM. And he moves back from the mic and he goes, who still thinks he's relevant?
There's that guy who used to do Soccer AM and still thinks he's relevant. What?
Right, okay, this comment, I'll admit, did sound a bit below the belt. It maybe sounded a little bit like there was a little bit of bitiness in there. There was a bit like, I sort of mean this. Fair. That one's okay. Cool.
I know when it comes to taking the piss, I'm the best at it. I've called people out for the right reasons. I've called people out for the wrong reasons. Lawrence could go and get 100 examples of me being a cunt to people, but I think he's been a cunt in this situation.
Absolutely, by the way. Everyone has the right to call their friends out on their shit, 100%. And Jack has the right to have the opinion that Lawrence was being a bit of a twat, 100%. It was, however, Jack's video, in my opinion, poorly done, because without a doubt this video started what happened on Twitter, which basically everyone calling Lawrence a smarmy twat. They're talking about the event with the event's creators, one of them being a 17-year-old child, right? So they're already on a bit of a tightrope of what they can and can't say. Then they push a load of 2 to 3 second specific negative clips together, knowing that 95% of the audience did not watch the full 2-hour reaction live stream from Lawrence and Brian. So already you're pushing this very twisted view on what this live stream was actually about. And then you're going and putting a load of people that maybe aren't as quite familiar with Brian and Lawrence and what they're all about over to them. I think this video was made, or at least watched back, knowing that it was going to cause an uproar, knowing that it was going to cause a lot of criticism, and it did. And I don't think that this video and how it was made and knowing the repercussions of making this video was warranted by Lawrence's actions. Maybe make the video in a better way for the scale of what Lawrence did. He's not killed anyone, guys. Just because this event was built on big creators and small creators coming together doesn't mean we all need to get on our, you know, oh, look how good we are supporting the small creators. Because I can guarantee you, 70% of the big creators didn't know who the fuck the small creators were either. Just exactly the same as everyone on that pitch doesn't know who the fuck I am. Therefore, you know, just saying who isn't saying, oh, they're irrelevant, no one should care about them, and why are you giving them any exposure? It's just because these people are being put in the context of like, look at our friend here. Look at the guy we all love and we all love to chat to. Aren't we glad to see this guy back? And we're going at home, don't really know who that guy is. That's funny. Lawrence was just saying everything we were thinking at home, because context makes the thing funny. Because, like, I'm not just defending Lawrence blindly because I like the stuff him and Brian do. I'm defending this idea of, like, just because charity and small creators are involved doesn't mean we all need to go, look how great we are doing this great thing for the community and charity. And now as soon as we find someone doing anything remotely different, we have to push them down to make ourselves feel better and have this group thing of like, look how great great we are supporting this great cause, but this person's bad and this person's being a twat and blah, 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 blah. Like, just do your great thing. It is a brilliant thing everyone did, but you do not need to attack someone to build up your own thing. Just to add on to this, while everyone was attacking Laurence on Twitter, which is basically all that platform is built on nowadays, these random bigger creators were putting out tweets of like, just a reminder how great this event was, and a reminder how great the presenters were and the production team, which I get is an attempt at like, guys, this situation isn't a negative thing, it's a positive thing. To me, it comes across as like, just a reminder, I'm the good guy and we're the good guys and this is the bad guy, but we're the good guys and isn't this a great thing and blah, blah, blah. It is a great thing. But this idea that we have to divide people in order to lift something, it's just stupid. Like I said, Jack can completely have his opinion. I do disagree with how he made the video, but I'm not trying to change how he sees the situation. And you guys have your own opinion, and I'm not trying to change that. I do think people get confused having an opinion on someone and attacking someone as the same thing. They're not. You know, people hide behind just completely, really ripping into someone and then going, well, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. What, I can't have an opinion now? What, are you trying to change it? What, I can't have an opinion? No, you can think whatever you like, but you can't just, like, completely just rip someone apart in favor of that opinion. And I've tried not to call out any specific creator because it just completely goes against my whole argument, doesn't it? Of using someone to build my own argument or build my own opinion. But in typical YouTube fashion, I'm going to contradict myself 2 seconds later, because this tweet from Liam, or Visa, you might know him, I do think was uncalled for, and it is a good example of getting having an opinion on someone and attacking someone and getting those two very mixed up. I'm sorry, but this has really pissed me off. Look at yourself in the mirror, pal, and sort yourself out, because your patronising and downright obnoxious behaviour is extremely hard to watch. That in itself, some harsh words there, but completely justified. If that's what you think, that's okay. He then pairs it with a video used from the kickoff, completely out of context, where he's talking about Wayne Rooney and some of the people he came across that were actual dickheads, like actually tried to actively push out journalists and people around them and treat them like shit. That's where that clip comes from. And then pair it with, like I've just said, just two dudes trying to make each other laugh and trying to make their audience laugh. You don't think it's entertaining? Clearly. That's cool. But pairing the two, it builds your argument. Good for you. It builds your argument. It's a great tweet for anyone that's thinking along your lines. It isn't doing anyone any good, though. It's not. It's an attack, in my opinion, and I don't think it's right. But you know, I'll still tune into your FIFA vids every now and then when I've got nothing else to watch. It's a joke. I'm ending off this episode audio only because the camera died. Someone got a little bit too heated, but I just wanted to solidify some of the points I was making in the episode. Yes, I was defending Laurence, maybe subconsciously a little bit, because I do like the stuff him and Brian do, of course. And yes, my tongue does taste weird from licking his arse all episode. But the point is, people confuse attacking someone and having an opinion. They confuse those a lot, and they're not the same thing. And also, people like to make themselves feel good about supporting charity or smaller creators. And for some reason, they can't do that by just supporting charity and smaller creators. They have to, make an example out of someone and compare themselves, and then everyone sees how good they are. But yeah, hopefully you understand some of the points I was making. Again, it's just what I think. You guys can do the same. This probably will blow over by the time you see this. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I shall see you in a much funnier episode, hopefully, number 30. See ya. Love you.